Hi, everyone. Welcome to another short attention span webinar. Kelly, how is your Connecticut fall going, my dear?
It is jaw-droppingly beautiful here.
Right?
It is just spectacular.
Yeah, you're down. You're in such a beautiful area. That's, I can just see it kind of creeping down all the colors. And so, well, good.
Well, I'm going to New Haven today to show my dad Yale's campus, and I'm going to say, see, if you had encouraged me more, Dad, this is where I would have ended up.
Yeah, all right. All
No,
right.
just kidding.
All right, Rory. Good luck with that. So we're going to start a new series here, Kelly, and this is going to be, you and I were down in Cape Cod at that conference, that Pine Conference, and we had multiple people come up to us as we did a Graph Expo and say, oh my gosh, I use your stuff in the sales meetings, and, that's people play the tips. So what I thought I'd do is to come up with some good fodder, some good suggestions for how do you, just for conversation points. So maybe what we do here, Kelly, is we throw it out there, and then if you are watching this in a sales meeting, as soon as we're done stating the topic, stop the recording and then talk amongst yourself.
Ooh, fun.
Okay? And then you can listen to us and see what our opinion is. Okay.
Or you could invite us and Skype us into your sales meetings. That would be really fun, too.
That would be fabulous. We could definitely
do
that. Yeah, right? Like, hi, I'm Bill, that's Kelly. Well, thanks for the sales meeting. Where's my coffee?
Yeah.
So the first one then is this. A little situation here for you, Kelly, right? You asked to give a price on a piece, and the client comes back and says, listen, I got your price, and it's within range of what I'm paying now. So I think I'm going to stick with my current vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So our response is what? So right there, hit the pause button, talk amongst yourself, and then come back. Okay. So, Kelly, what's your thought on that? I just hit you with this. You didn't have time to prep.
Yeah, I mean, you could go so many different ways with this, but the one kind of ninja or Jedi mind trick way is to almost be like, yeah, why would you change? Like, kind of put it back on the client to say, what would be some reasons that you would consider going with another vendor at this point, and help them put voice to what you suspect which is you've gotten this far. There's a really good chance they want to work with you, and so they're trying to justify it to themselves, and so they're just looking for reasons. We talk about this all the time, right? The client is looking for a reason that goes beyond price to work with you.
Right.
So you can kind of give them the ability to talk about what some of the benefits to them would be of changing vendors. And if they, and just kind of see how that conversation goes organically, whether it goes to delivery or quality or things like that. So that's one idea.
So get them, first of all, remember that an objection is a request for more information.
Right.
All right. And then I think what I hear you say here, Kelly, is, okay, so say to the client, look, hypothetically, if you were to go with me, why would you? Under what circumstances? Let's make a list. Mm-hmm. And it's another way of saying, I think, what aren't you getting now that you would want to get?
Right.
Now, you also have to remember that you're hearing there's a price issue, but there's always an issue in switching vendors in fear.
Right.
So you got to address that as well. And essentially you need to say, what are you afraid of? Okay, you wouldn't come out right and say that, because I don't think anybody's going to say, well, I'm afraid for losing my job. But still, you might say, well, let me ask you something. Other than price, what's holding you back? And really dig into that. Mm-hmm. What are you not getting from your current vendor that you would like to get? And then dig into that. That's, again, what Kelly was saying. You've got to justify that price difference. Is it all about price? Do you, under what, have you done this before? Why have you switched vendors when the price was not a savings?
Right.
You might also get around to how much of a savings needs to be there before you do consider switching.
Right. Because the thing is, it's not actually an objection, is it? It really is just a dialogue that you're having. I'm reading this book it's called The Art of Tidying Up or something like that, and she talks about how you need to, everything you look at, every statement that you make, it's continue to ask why. Why are you getting rid of this? What does it mean to you? You know, so you're looking at, you're really, again, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We're trying to go deeper. We're trying to have more of a meaningful conversation. So it's almost like it's not an objection. It's like, come over here and sit next to me and let's talk about this more.
Okay.
It's like, let's huddle up. We're on the same team.
Okay.
Like, we want the same thing. It's almost like you're already acting as if they're your customer and your friend. And so you're just kind of trying to help them along this journey. You're just having this conversation and getting them to give voice to the fact that you both believe that they want to do business with you. So you're going to make that as easy on them as possible. So Bill, to your point, if there's fear, if there's any barriers, let's get some of that stuff out of some of the mechanical stuff. Let's get it out of the way. The credit terms and things like that. Like, let's try to make that stuff as easy as possible so we do take the fear and the inconvenience away.
So a mother of 2 sets of twins should be writing a book called The Art of Tidying Up, not perhaps reading it. You could teach the course. A couple other things here. Number one, expect this. Expect the objection. Okay. Number two, it'll really help you if you already know the answer to the question, what aren't you getting? And you get that by talking to the originator, the user of the document. So find out the story behind the printed piece and then direct your conversation there. So if you know that it's a slow responding vendor, ask the question, are you happy with the communication that you are getting with the current vendor? Now, you know that's a hot point. Now, if they might say, oh, yeah, it's all good. Well, okay, now you're getting to fear. Now there's something else. So good conversation point for your next sales meeting. Next week, we'll talk about another one. We'll talk about how to substantiate a price increase. So,
yeah.
All right. Kelly, thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Bill.
And we'll talk to you all next week in another short attention span webinar.